2PHRENTERPRISES. And always I try to bring it to you exactly the way I see it, raw, not trying to entertain you with music and beautiful, dazzling videos, but with sincere truth and just the way it is.
Black people can do today to affect change in our community. Number one, stop supporting rap music. Rap music profits from our destruction. They do nothing but promote negative stereotypes about black people. Number two, stop voting for Democrats.
My favorite.
Democrats have been using black people for the last 60 years. They do nothing but use us for our votes. Number three, if you know a man that's not taking care of his children, call him and let him know that he's a disgusting piece of trash.
Preach.
And he's the reason why, the main reason why, the black community is in the situation that it's in right now. Number four, stop supporting race hustlers like Black Lives Matter. They do nothing but profit from our division. And number five, my favorite, stop looking at white people to fix our problems. Look at black folks to fix the problem because we're the ones in it.
Okay, I concur with this man's assumptions and his facts, but there's so much more to the problem. And they're very learned people that we have. I'd like to give credit. I don't know this man's name who spoke about the 5 things to fix black communities, okay? But I repurposed a video and shared it from Black Conservative 2429. And let's get back to the discussion of fixing black communities. The solutions must be tailored to the scope of the crime in a way that would make the victim whole. In this case, the psychic and economic injury is enormous, multidimensional, and long-running. Thus, America's restitution to blacks for the damage done. As Germany and other interests that profited owed reparation to Jews following the Holocaust of Nazi persecution, America and other interests that profited owe reparations to blacks following the Holocaust of African slavery, which has carried forth from slavery's inception for 350 odd years to the end of the U.S. government embraced racial discrimination, an end that arrived, it would seem, only just yesterday. For centuries, blacks have fought the battles an episode at a time, losing sight of the full ugly picture, seeing it whole, but defies description. I have tried in these pages to sketch outlines of a story that stretches from the dawn of civilization to the present. This comes from Randall Robinson. The dilemma of blacks in the world cannot possibly be understood without taking the long view of history. I have, by necessity, painted basic themes with a broad brush and make no claim to comprehensiveness. For those with an appetite for more information, a resource list follows the text. And this text is The Debt, written by Randall Robinson, What America Owes to Blacks. Here, my intent is to stimulate, not to satiate, to pose the question, to invite and debate, to cause America to compensate after 3.5 centuries for a long avoided weight and wrong. Number 2 in my book is reclaiming our ancient self. When I discover who I am, I'll be free. I am reading from Randall Robinson's book, The Debt, okay? And one of the things it talks about is there are 2 selves, one born as a human, the other born as an immortal, who has lost sight of the trail of his long history. I am this new self and an ancient self. I need both to be whole. Yet there's a war within, and I feel a great wanting of the spirit. The immortal self, the son of the shining but distant African ages, tells the embattled, beleaguered, damaged self, the modern self, what he needs to remember of his ancient traditions, but the modern self simply cannot remember and thus cannot believe. The modern self has desperately tried, but the effort has been only marginally fruitful. Maliciously shorn of his natural identity for so long, he can too easily get lost in another's. In his case, in America, there's a little space for before the Mayflower, before the Dutchman, before the Middle Passage, and before is on view, invariably, it is white. Sight lines to the before that I require, that I crave, are blocked. People of the black community, the African community, I tell you that I shall not forget what has been done to our ancestors. I shall not forget what they had to go through the transatlantic slave voyage. I shall not forget the people who came to this country when it was nothing but a forest, and out of the forest created the United States of America on their backs. The red, white, and blue flag is soaked in African blood. And I don't understand, and I do not ascribe to the fact that we have to fix everything ourselves. We did not do this to ourselves, and we are owed a debt. See, black people, whether you know it or not, they don't have Neanderthal blood in them. So they always sought to live like human beings. Even now, we'll talk about repairing our own self. Let me tell you something. So you telling me that you got out there and you whip yourself, you kidnap yourself, you rape your children, you rape your wife, you rape yourself, you gave away your land, you took up another person's name? You mean to tell me that you did all of these things to yourself? You mean to tell me that you don't live the best life that you can live in this place and all over the world because you don't want to? There's a lot of people that's black that want to be white. We got people within our race who do not want our progress. And I'm telling you that with the ancestors' help and the Creator's help, we can do all things. But I am not letting nobody escape, just like they're not going to let you escape. And so I want what is my just due, what is owed to our community, our nation, okay? I want, and I demand, and I will do whatever I have to do. You see, the Europeans did whatever they needed to do in order to own this world. For those who like to live as human beings, you had to watch what the Neanderthal did to your families. And you can live with that? In my closing, I'm going to tell you something. This is 2PHRENTERPRISES. This is strictly that what comes out of my heart, what comes out of my spirit, out of my soul. I believe we should be one-on-one with one and actively putting our finances together, putting our heads together, creating think tanks, and trying to fix our communities, our minds, okay, for those who are unconscious. But I shall not forget. And I don't even know if I have the capabilities to forgive. But I will tell you this. My ancestors still live. 2PHRENTERPRISES.